Rods, faculty coordinator and LD specialist in our Disabled Student Programs and Services unit here at Sonora at Columbia College. I'd like to give you some background on DSPS, which begins with some legislation that was actually enacted in 1976, and we call it the Educational Code Title V, and also we look at what funding we receive from this legislation, and that funds our services, our support services, and instructional programs for students with disabilities in the 112 California community colleges. DSPS assists colleges by providing services and accommodations for students with disabilities like you. These services support student success and assist the college to meet requirements, ensuring that the college programs, services, and activities are accessible to and usable by students with disabilities, as required by, of course, as I had mentioned, the federal and state non-discrimination laws. These laws include Section 504 and 508, lots of numbers there, of the Federal Rehabilitation Act and the Americans with Disabilities Act. DSPS receives funding for students with verified disabilities, as I mentioned. These verified disabilities may be of a physical, visual, communication, learning, psychological, and it's not exclusive, developmental nature. Our students participate in an initial intake process, which begins with the completion of documentation, which we would ask you to do, that is required for eligibility for our program. DSPS coordinator, which is myself, and special programs counselors review disability documentation and determine eligibility for support services. We work with students upon request for needed accommodations and coordinate and ensure those accommodations are provided in a timely and effective manner. Staff work with students with disabilities as they face barriers to success or disability-related issues within the college or within the community. We encourage then the interaction with faculty and other college staff to answer questions that anyone may have, or anything that needs to be, I'm going to say, provided when it comes to accommodations. And we make sure that and ensure that all this is done within the legal confines of confidentiality. Examples of accommodations and support services provided to students include some of the following: outreach and transition from high school to college, test facilitation, specialized, I'm going to say, academic assistance, high-tech center, access to online distance ed courses, we assist with that, adapted physical education, and mobility assistance and alternate media, to name a few. Procedures to aid requests from students requiring access to alt media services are in place at our DSPS office. Students often ask us, what is alt media or alternate media? And the definition for that is any instruction-related material which is converted or altered from its original state into a different format so that it's accessible and usable by people with disabilities. This may include, but it's not limited to, Braille, large print, recorded audio, electronic or e-text formats. You'll understand that, I think, from a lot of what you hear within the media, and video captioning. DSPS staff promotes a key concept within the process of providing this alt media, which is to engage in an interactive process with the person to determine the type of media and the time frame for the delivery of that alt media. We need to make sure that it's timely, as she smiles. DSPS also provides technical assistance on web accessibility. If you're an online student and need assistance to meet the challenges of access, please do not hesitate to contact us in DSPS. Welcome to Columbia College, and we encourage you to utilize DSPS to enhance your success.